Hello, everybody. Michael Phelps. I want to pick back up today and talk about nutrition and give you some general ways that you can calculate the number of calories to start with if you're on a fat loss diet, and some information about macros and how you can figure those things as well if you're on a fat loss diet or if your goal is to lose body fat, which is the goal, I would say, of the majority of people who are endeavoring to go on a diet. Here's how I would figure your starting daily caloric intake. There is no set number. You have to estimate. So first thing I'd like to know is how active are you in your everyday activities, whether it be work or whatever it is you do most days. How active are you? Are you primarily sedentary, sitting behind a desk, sitting on the couch, or not moving much? Are you in a job that requires you to move constantly? I would take those numbers, and for a man, I would choose 12 to 15 as numbers. The more sedentary you are, you're going to choose 12. The more active you are, you're going to choose 15. And you can choose 13, 14 in the middle of there if you're unsure what to pick. Maybe you're not quite totally sedentary. Maybe you're not quite totally active. But you're going to pick one of those numbers. Those are factors. Let's say you're very sedentary and you just sit around all the time and your job is you sitting behind a desk and so forth. You're going to take your current body weight and you're going to multiply it times that factor of 12. Remember, 12 would be you're very sedentary. That's going to give you a number. Whenever you get that number, I want you to multiply that number times 90%. That's going to be your starting daily caloric intake. It doesn't mean it's correct. There's some other factors to consider, but it's a good starting point to see, how you're going to respond to that amount of calories. Again, if you're very active, let's say you have a job where you're walking or moving constantly all day long, and you have kind of a personality where you can't sit still. So you're very active. You want to use 15 on those numbers. So you're going to use, your body weight times 15, then times 90%. And of course, you use 13 or 14 if you can't pick 12 or 15. If you're somewhere in the middle there between being sedentary and being very active. Ladies, I want you to use numbers between 10 and 13. Same thing. If you're very sedentary, you're going to use 10. If you're very active, you're going to use 13. You're going to take your body weight times the factor that best describes you, and then take 90% of that. These are just guesstimates, starting points on daily caloric intake. Now, let's talk about macros. I'm a big believer in high protein diets because I'm a big believer in trying to preserve muscle. And I would choose a minimum of 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's just what I recommend. It works fantastic. And, you can go up higher than that, but that would be my minimum threshold. How many grams of carbs and fat you take depends. If you think, or let's to make it more simple, if you are fairly obese, meaning that, you're more than, say, 50 or 60 pounds overweight. If you're 100 pounds overweight, you are definitely obese, and you'll want to take far fewer carbohydrates than a person that, say, is 20 pounds overweight. Now, these again are guesstimates. The reason you want to do that is typically people who are more overweight, if they've been that way for a while, will be insulin resistant and just do not process carbs really well. And these are just basic points. We're not going into great detail right now on that. So if you are, say, over 50 or 60 pounds overweight, I would do no more than 1 gram of carbohydrates per pound of body weight. And the more overweight you are, the less grams I would do. So if you're, say, 100 pounds overweight, I would maybe do half a gram per pound of body weight. So if you're 300 pounds, you want to do 150 grams of carbs a day, spread out during the day. The balance of those calories that you figured from the get-go will be from fat. Remember, fat has 9 calories per gram. Protein and carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram. So you got to back into these figures. And you're more than welcome to contact me, and I'll go into great detail with you about how to calculate your number. But those are just some ballparks on where to start to get you in a slight caloric deficit. And you must be in a caloric deficit to lose weight. I don't care what anybody tells you. If you're in a caloric surplus, you're not going to lose weight. Okay? So, any questions about this, feel free to contact me. My email is Mike Phelps Mail. That's MIKEPHELPS MAIL @gmail.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Send me a message either way. I do use Messenger on Facebook. And send me any question you may have. We'll go into more depth on diet in the next video. Hope you guys have a great day.